as Jason has shared, there's clearly a lot of uncertainty around the future and lots of different opinions about what the future of corporations' work needs are going to be. But one thing that we're pretty certain about is that once employers have gotten their arms around return to work and how to keep their employees safe, their focus is inevitably going to shift back to the real estate portfolio and to financial performance. And so if we think about this from a design standpoint, in the near term, most companies are taking a very practical short-term approach to enabling return to the office by doing things like blocking off every other workstation for social distancing, declaring conference rooms to be single occupant spaces, putting signage in to remind people of social distancing and PPE requirements and protocols to enable to use the existing built infrastructure that they have to accommodate return to the office. In the longer term, there are a lot of people who are anticipating that there will also be a need for significant space renovations that are going to require companies to invest capital and investment in changing their footprint and their physical built environment, and also will drive a de-densification of space that could create less efficient space usage in the future and then higher occupancy cost per person. My personal opinion is that the jury is really still out on that, and it may be premature for companies to really start thinking about implementing some of those longer term changes to their footprint. And as the pandemic resolves, and especially once we get a vaccine, we may find that some of those social distancing requirements are relaxed. On the other hand, there is an immediate need to do things like upgrade HVAC systems, to improve air quality, and also increase janitorial services and disinfecting. Those are things that are going to put upward pressure on operating expenses pretty much immediately when people return to the office. And I believe that some of those things will be here to stay, and may in fact be things that are written into building codes going forward that are going to create upward pressure on cost. As our clients and potential clients that are occupiers of real estate see some of these upward cost pressures, this may also be combined with lower revenue in the economy going forward, and that's going to create a very significant demand for portfolio optimization. And if you think about occupancy costs, which is typically the second largest expense for most companies after real estate expense reduction is going to get CEO and CFO focus, and this is a great opportunity for Cresa to come in and help. Jason, if you could go to the next slide.
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry.
Right there. Perfect. So if we take a look at some of the trends out there, in addition to a lot of upward cost pressures that I've touched on, there are also savings opportunities out there that our clients can leverage. And there are three in particular I want to just highlight that could enable reductions in space needs that could offset some of these potential increases that may come from a de-densification of the physical built environment. The first, which is not a positive one, is workforce reduction. And what we've seen in the past, and I think we'll likely see going forward as well, is that often when companies embark on workforce reductions or layoffs, they see an immediate cost reduction in payroll, but they fail to rationalize their physical real estate environment after the headcount comes down. And so there's going to be a big opportunity to help companies deliver an additional cost savings by targeting reductions in space demand within their portfolio that come from reduced headcount, and also, as Jason has started to lay out, from remote work, and really looking at for those employees who do continue to work from home all or some of the time, what space can we target in the built environment that we can get rid of. A third thing that's not on the page here, because it's not a current trend, but is also an opportunity. I can almost guarantee you that most companies out there had excess vacant space in their portfolio pre-pandemic. And so this increased focus on portfolio optimization and cost reduction is going to allow companies to focus holistically on their portfolio and drive out waste that probably existed before some of these other trends took hold. There are also new opportunities for for tenants and occupiers on the, so that was volume, right? And so there are also opportunities on the rate side. And we're anticipating that, because of what will likely, and unfortunately become a prolonged recession, we're likely going to see real estate markets reacting with reduction in rental rates, potentially negative net absorption. And this is an opportunity for our tenants to take advantage of that as well. It's going from a landlord to a tenant market, new opportunities for lease restructuring, for, blend and extend, for relocations to drive the cost down of the real estate portfolio. So those are sort of the tailwinds that we think will be coming in addition to the headwinds of increased costs in other areas. All right, thanks, Jason. If you could go to the next slide. So if you have clients or prospects that are interested in portfolio optimization, Cresa can help with that. And this is a high-level overview of our approach to providing portfolio optimization consulting services for tenants. And I've done a number of these, and while each one is very much tailored to the specific goals of the client, we typically will follow kind of the same proven cadence or approach to the work to make sure that we are able to deliver on a holistic strategy. And this really starts with defining the objectives, or really understanding and clarifying the client's goals for a portfolio optimization strategy. This includes an assessment of the baseline portfolio, and then also understanding not only the demand, space demand, and the financial goals, but also the qualitative goals for the portfolio. From there, we'll go to a gap analysis, and this includes looking at the gap between current state portfolio and a desired end state. And this also gives us an ability to do some analytics and really kind of frame up that, how big is the breadbox in terms of opportunities for savings or other benefits. From there, we get into kind of the meat of the analysis and provide detailed scenario modeling. And this typically will involve both doing cash flow analysis, P&L modeling, as well as scoring opportunities based on qualitative business needs, and doing a holistic assessment of what are the key opportunities out there and the levers that you can pull to improve the performance and lower the cost of your portfolio. And then finally, those get packaged into recommendations and decision support for the client to go to the senior leaders in the organization or the approving body to get things approved for implementation. And I think there are two really big benefits for us to be able to offer this kind of a service to our clients. The first is giving us visibility and credibility with senior leaders in the client organization. And these type of strategic initiatives tend to have, sort of a stickiness factor, so to speak, in really kind of building that trusted advisor relationship that we strive for with our clients. And the other, which Jason mentioned briefly already, is there's a great opportunity in a portfolio optimization strategy to increase deal flow. Because when you can provide your client with robust analytics and a clear roadmap to the future, this very often increases their appetite to act on opportunities in advance of a lease expiration, because they've got that clear strategy of where they're going and where they've got opportunities for improvement. So this is sort of the business proposition or business case that I would say for portfolio optimization. And in partnership with Jason, I'm available to put teams together to deliver these types of consulting services going forward.